Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for the week of October 4th. We're going to jump right in here, Leo, and we're going to take a look at what is going on for you at this time. Leo, I'm laughing because, I don't know, like all the readings have basically been exactly the same this week. But I would say take a deep breath this week for sure. I feel like there's a need for that, like a need for forgiveness. Three of Swords is literally a card of forgiveness as well. And you have it under the forgiveness card. You're like the 10th sign that has had something about like forgiving something from the past or forgiving a person or, it doesn't even have to be a person. It could just be forgiving a situation, forgiving yourself, right, for things. So that's going to be a very powerful energy for you at this time. And it seems, again, like I said, it seems to be that forgiveness could be a very powerful energy for pretty much everybody at this time. You have this yin energy card here, so it could be a good time for like resting, relaxing, recovering, doing nice things for yourself. I feel would be very beneficial here. And you have this TikTok card. I feel like there's rushy energy here with the TikTok card, so I just slow things down. I wouldn't rush. I feel like saying there's no rush. Normally, I feel like there is a rush with this card. But again, with these two cards together, I feel like it's kind of just saying there's no rush. Just, chill, enjoy the energy, enjoy enjoy the nice things in life, right? And I feel like that will make your week a little bit better. You have the Page of Swords, the Emperor, and the Three of Wands. I feel like these little bugs, I feel like bugs flying around me, if that makes sense here with the Page of Swords energy. I feel like you need to be careful of that energy here, Leo, like especially if, if you have like haters or anything like that, I would be careful of that energy. Again, I feel like you need to realize that the things that bother you, they're just like little bugs, I feel like they're not like, real problems. I hope that makes sense, but that's like the feeling I get here. It's like that feeling of being annoyed, right? And I feel you could be feeling that. But look at this guy. Do you think he cares about this right here, the Emperor? I would say no. He could stomp on the little Page of Swords and crush him, right? Just like a bug. So I feel like for some of you, this is like saying you need to kind of like the Emperor, he realizes his power. The other thing about the Emperor is he doesn't even need to display the power, right? He doesn't need to stomp on the little bugs. He doesn't need to, smash the Page of Swords. He knows he could, and that's enough. And, I feel like that's you this week, Leo. It's coming up in your past as well, so, what I would say here is that some of you could be dealing with some heavy energy, and I feel like you just need to realize that it's like there's no need to, like, display the fact that you could absolutely squash someone or a situation like a bug, because just knowing that you can is enough. It kind of reminds me of, like, the whole martial arts thing. It's like true martial artists, it's like they could totally destroy a person in a fight. But what does martial arts really teach you? It teaches you how to avoid getting into a fight in the first place. So I kind of get that energy here for you for whatever reason, but it is popping into my head. I feel like some of you are preparing for something as well here. Let's see, especially with this Three of Wands, and especially because we go from the Three of Wands to the World. It's like clearly you're preparing to like put something out into the world, or you're preparing something for the world, which I would say is more likely, Leo. It's like every single reading I do for you, and even in the past, you used to get the Hermit all the time, and I remember I used to always say to you, it's like you're preparing to like teach the world or put something out into the world. With the Page of Swords here, you have the Six of Cups. The funny thing is, I almost feel like if you're getting a lot of hate this week, or if you're getting a lot of haters, I feel like it's because you're going in the right direction, is what I feel here. So if you're dealing with like heavy energy or people who are saying you're wrong or whatever, I would just ignore it, because I feel like the Six of Cups says you're going in the right direction. Some of you could also be dealing with something with children. We'll look into that in just a minute. With the Emperor, what do you know? You have the Chariot, asserting your will. I feel like you need to realize that you have all the power this week. It's like simply having that realization could, turn this situation around very quickly for you as well. But I feel like there is a victory. I do feel that a lot of you are kind of leaving things behind. Again, I don't want to beat a dead horse here, Leo, but it wouldn't surprise me in the like slightest if over the next few years you're not doing the same thing you're doing right now as far as work, career, and business is concerned. Even if you're retired, It's like you could be working on side projects or things like that, but there's some sort of change coming in for you here with the Chariot. And with the Three of Wands, you have the Page of Pentacles. I feel like you just need to get started. Page of Pentacles is very nitpicky energy. Page of Pentacles is the card of nitpicking. It's the card of being too focused on the tiny little details and not focusing enough on the big picture. Three of Wands is waiting for the perfect moment when there never will be a perfect moment. So I feel like it is time for you to take action on something, or for you to do something that you've been thinking of doing. Especially those of you in work or business that have been thinking about making a change. It's definitely time for a change, and I feel like you're ready. Chariot, he is leaving this city that is behind him, and it kind of represents the fact that he's ready to spread his wings. He's ready to grow. And I feel that for you here, Leo. Next, you have this forgiveness card. Again, if you're dealing with any buttheads, bozos, or anything in between, I would say forgiveness is probably the best energy this week. Like I said, literally, I'm pretty sure every single sign has had something about forgiveness or, kind of blessing people, things like that. And you have the Three of Swords. Three of Swords is about forgiveness. These three swords are in your heart, Leo. And so it kind of says by not forgiving situations, the only person you're hurting is yourself. So that's why I always say with the Three of Swords, it's a good time to forgive people, because, it's you're not forgiving them to forgive them. You're doing it to remove the swords from your own heart. And that's what I would say here. You have the Three of Swords, Six of Pentacles, and the Nine of Cups. I definitely wouldn't neglect anything with the Six of Pentacles either. For those of you that are working too much, maybe it's time to pay attention to your health. If you're paying too much attention to your money, maybe you need to pay attention to your spirituality. It's there's something that you might be neglecting here, is what this card says. Even the Six of Cups could be something that you enjoy doing. So for some of you, it's maybe you have a hobby, or maybe you have something that you haven't done in a long time, and it's time for you to do it, because it'll probably just make you feel better, right? By doing something that you enjoy doing and kind of getting out of your head. I think that people always think of tarot as how do I get love, or how do I get money? But I think sometimes the best advice we can get from the tarot is to stop focusing on love, stop focusing on money, and go out into the wilderness, or go roller skating, or whatever the hell you like to do, right? Because it's if we stop doing those things, we become robots. We become we're just living the same day over and over and over again. So, I think it's important that we do the things we enjoy. Again, I always tell people, I get the best answers to my problems, I get the best solutions, and not even problems. I get my best ideas when I'm taking part in one of my hobbies, right? It's because we're not when we're in the hobby zone, we're not focusing on all this stuff that's going on in our life. We're really hyper focused on what we love to do. And that's when the answers can pour in, because we're removing resistance. We're not resisting something. We're just enjoying something that we're doing. And I get that energy here for you, Leo, where it's you need to do that. I always tell people as well. I always get, it's funny because I always get comments where people are I can't go enjoy a hobby because I have to pay these bills. I'm yeah, but here's the thing is that, yes, I understand that, but at the same time, I'm sure you can carve out a little bit of time to go enjoy yourself, but it's the bill is still going to be there after your hobby, if that's what you're worried about, right? It's the bill is still going to be there, but if you go and remove the resistance, it's you might get a good answer on how to pay off the bills. I always tell a story about how years ago, I was doing nothing. I was just sitting in my room, stewing, being angry at the world, all this other stuff, right? And it wasn't until I started doing hobbies, started enjoying myself, started going for walks. That's when I got all the answers. That's when I started this channel. That's when I started other things that I enjoyed doing. That's when I started working out, which I need to get back into, Leo, right? And all this other stuff. But it's my energy greatly improved. So I feel that's what you need to do here with this energy, for sure. Nine of Cups is a card of enjoyment, happiness, good things coming in for you. With the Three of Swords, you have the Six of Wands here, success. What the energy I get here for you, Leo, is it's why should I enjoy myself? It's almost like survivor's guilt, right? It's why should I enjoy myself if other people aren't enjoying themselves? I feel you need to get away from that energy. there's no use in being a martyr. You know, I think in times like we have right now, like with COVID and all this other stuff, people are like, I can't enjoy myself right now because all these other people are suffering, or other situations in the world. I'm like, yeah, but you suffering isn't helping either. It's like, you know, I feel like people need to realize that we need to provide this energy of abundance. We need to provide this uplifting energy. I don't know what it is, but it's like there's this weird energy going on where I feel like people think like, oh, there are all these homeless people, so I have to suffer. It's like, no, it should be the opposite. You should be creating as much abundance as you can so you can help those people. And then by creating more abundance, more people are creating abundance. And before you know it, we'll be living in this gigantic abundant universe, right, that we live in. So I feel like this need to not be afraid of your successes here with the Six of Wands. And remember what I was saying about the Hermit, how you used to always get the Hermit. I feel like you need to like open up. The Hermit has his star inside the lantern. He's not blasting his star out all over the place, but maybe it's time. Maybe it's time for you to talk about your successes, your failures, and everything so that you can create more abundance for more people. The 2 6s, I love 2 6s. To me, 2 6s says you're, and 2 6s this way as well. 2 6s to me says you're going in the right direction. The 6 of Pentacles, you have the 2 of Cups. Love it. 2 of Cups is happiness, definitely a celebration coming in for you. Could be love coming in for you. If I'm being honest, I wouldn't really call this a love reading. I do feel like there's love here. I feel like love is always available to us, but what I would say here is that I feel like this is more you and your higher self. 2 of Cups is you and your higher self, so you could be kind of like matching up with your higher self here. With the 9 of Cups, you have the 6 of Swords. Yeah, just general improvements coming in for you. I feel like you're moving on to calmer shores here as well, Leo. So definitely a pretty good energy. Next, you have the Owl Spirit. This card says you see clearly now. I feel like you see what you need to focus on. I feel like you see the things that you need to do. You have the 5 of Pentacles, the 3 of Cups in the world. 5 of Pentacles says do not call attention to your weaknesses. It says that you should be focusing on your strengths, which I feel is true for pretty much everybody. You know, after we had Saturn leave Capricorn, I mean, from there and for like the next 30 years, we should be focusing on our strengths. It's like we learn, I think something people forget about astrology is like when something like Saturn is in a sign, it's like just because it's left the sign doesn't mean we're not working with the energy any longer. It's like that was the start. It's like, you know, Saturn takes 30 years to go through and hit that sign again. So it's like we lived it. Now we've learned some lessons. Now we have to live those lessons until Saturn comes back around into Capricorn again in like 28 years or 27 years, however long it is from today. I don't know, right? But I don't think that far out. But what I would say here is that we're still dealing with those lessons. And, you know, part of the whole Saturn Capricorn thing is that we need to focus on the 80-20 rule. Like 80% of our results come from 20% of our work. Saturn, like in Capricorn, wants us to get rid of the excess. Like it's like, you know, look at how bloated the government is. Look at how, regardless of what your political beliefs are. Again, I'm not political. We're basically, you know, I'm a crazy person. I think we're ruled by a group of aliens basically that are trying to eat our souls. So, you know, don't listen to me, right, when I talk about this stuff. But what I would say is, you know, again, it's like, do we need all these rules, regulations, and all this other stuff? Probably not. Again, I always say we have laws because we don't have solutions. That, you know, that's the real problem with the whole, like, legal system and all this other stuff. So, you know, Saturn Capricorn comes in and is like, nope, we're getting rid of all this extra stuff, probably by creating chaos in the world. What do we see right now, right? And so what I would say here is that for a lot of you, this is asking you to like simplify things in your life. Are you doing extra stuff that you don't need to be doing? Are you people pleasing? That's one thing that we do that is like extra that we don't need to do. Are you doing extra work? You know, pretty much anything. It's gonna be different for all of you, but you know, I would look into the things where maybe you're doing too much of something. For others, I do feel like there's like a reunion coming in for some of you, but it's like a family reunion, or maybe you're seeing someone you haven't seen in a while. And you have the World, so definitely going through like a change here. Let's see what this change is for you here, Leo. With the 5 of Pentacles, you have the 2 of Swords here. Compromise, middle ground type of energy here is what I would say. So I feel like some of you need to look at compromising, but probably with yourself. With the Three of Cups, you have the Seven of Swords here. I would be careful of any liars, cheaters, stealers that are coming back from the past for sure. But the Seven of Swords is really about handling a situation with care, kind of handling a situation very delicately. I definitely am getting that for those of you in work or business or career, there could be a situation that you have to handle with care involving either gossip or other people, but I feel like you'll be fine. But I just wouldn't, I would take the... I would take the more positive approach, especially if you're dealing with like a negative situation in work or business. I just wouldn't talk about it. I would stay out of it. And, I would I would be the better person, right, in this situation, or the bigger person. And that's going to have you win, especially if you're dealing with anything like gossip or anything like that. And with the world, you have the Ten of Pentacles. See, your outcome is amazing here, Leo. It's like Ten of Pentacles is everything you want in your life. Why do I still feel resistance here, Leo? Let's ask the cards and let's see. It's like this is a good reading. It's very good, but it's like I feel it's like kind of like a little bit of a minefield, getting to this right here, World, Ten of Pentacles, everything you want. So how do we get to here, Leo? How do we get everything we want if we're Leo? Let's see. You have the Eight of Swords here. You always get the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is about just trying new things. Eight of Swords is about realizing that you're a lot more free than you realize. All she has to do, she's fearing that the tide of the ocean is going to come up and drown her. But if she just leaned against a sword, her hands would be free, and she could take her blindfold off, and she could just walk straight forward, and she'd be set free. Eight of Swords says there's more than one way to accomplish your goal. There's multiple ways that you can become more successful. There's more than one way of doing things that you're doing in work and business and love, pretty much everything. It's just about opening up to that, those different opportunities. You have the Chariot here as well. Definitely a victory coming in for you here. So, I don't know. In a lot of ways, I feel like things are going to go well. Some of you could be moving as well. Chariot twice, the World, like a move could just be the thing you need to kind of like mix things up to, free up the energy. So that could be a good thing as well. I also feel like updating, anything you can do to update would be a good idea as well. Like, let's say you've had a business for like, I don't know, 20 years, 30 years. I feel like there could be like a lot of there could be opportunities that you're going to have to find, but if you find them, you're going to be very successful. What I would be doing if I were you, if you have a business, is I would be looking for like new types of companies or new technologies and things like that. Let's say you're a service provider or something like that, or you provide for some sort of service. I would be looking for, like I said, new things. That's what's popping into my head. That's a little confusing, but I feel like if it's for you, it makes sense. And finally, you have the Six of Swords. Definitely improvements coming in for you here. So I like that, Leo. That looks pretty good. What I would say here is, again, I feel like you can have everything you want, but, this week I feel like forgiveness, kind of resting, relaxing, recovering would be a good idea for you as well, but it looks pretty good. We're going to pull 3 yes or no question cards right now, Leo. If you don't have questions, that's fine as well. I'm just going to put them all together at the end, and I'm going to answer them as one, but we're going to do 1, 2, and 3. So for question number 1, I would say yes. The Knight of Wands, this is you, so yes. For question number 2, I would say yes, Knight of Cups. So definitely yes there. And for question number 3, I would say yes. Look at this, 2 of Cups. Are you kidding me? So yes. Yes is what I'm going to say here. Pretty good, Leo. Putting this all together, by the way, I do feel like there's new love coming in for you here if you're looking for love. Probably a perfect match, probably something that's much different than you would expect. The 2 of Cups has been coming up like crazy over the past couple weeks. So, 2 of Cups kind of says that if you're looking for love, there could be a person who's very different than what you usually go for entering into your life. They're meant to look different on the 2 of Cups. So for a lot of you, this could be like a different type of love that's coming in for you. But this is a pretty good reading here, Leo. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.